was thinking was like, if life is involved in the replication of universes, that could explain why evolution does seem to kind of, well, natural selection is this very inventive, creative process that creates more complex forms of life, more intelligent forms of life. And although, as you pointed out, in the case of our planet, it may have benefited from some disruptions, it seems like a process that is not that unlikely to create an intelligent species if given enough time. And so I thought, well, if life's getting to the point of intelligent species is a prerequisite for the creation of more universes, that could explain why natural selection is so good at doing that. But then I thought, but what I'm saying here is that this intelligent species that replicates the next universe might like fiddle with some things such that the next version of natural selection was even more conducive to the, like, say, okay, we want to use these base pairs next time around. But
Okay.
but my question is, could this intelligent civilization that wants to build a new universe, could it get this information through a black hole?
No, information doesn't come out of
Well,
black
then,
holes.
then a lot of what I like about the theory is not working.
Okay,
Then.
no. The constants of nature are extremely fine-tuned for reasons that we do not understand at all. We do not have a theory that explains them. But biological evolution rests on the foundation of physics. Chemistry is just the physics of atoms and molecules. And somehow the physics in atoms and molecules gives you one kind of molecule that can replicate and store information, another kind that can do almost anything, that's like a universal kind of toolkit, and another kind that can take the information from the first kind and use it to reproduce the second kind.
These are three kinds of, you said molecules, or three kinds of physical?
There's DNA,
Okay,
RNA,
right,
protein,
right.
and then mitochondria. Now, why did some random process with atoms on the surface chemistry of a planet produce this peculiar combination? And you know, there are people who try to study this. Once upon a time, people had the idea that there was a natural tendency toward order, and it would be very robust. There was this guy Prigogine who thought there was a fourth law. It's wrong. What they've discovered is that very peculiar, very special systems have this tendency toward order. But if you ping the system a little bit, you get nothing. So it's much more likely, based on computer models and studies of things like that, that there's actually something very odd about organic chemistry, that it would produce something like that instead of just turning into sludge. So that would be fine-tuned in the coupling constants of nature.
Well, is there, I mean, could this intelligent civilization that's engineering a new universe, could it in any way influence the those constants or anything that might in turn increase the chances or the frequency with which life originates or the efficiency with which it evolves? Is there any kind of tinkering the intelligent life could do to make that next universe even more conducive to intelligent life than the first one had been?
Well, I mean, think about the chicken. The chicken doesn't deliberately try to make a better egg, but in the long run, it comes out like that. So what it would be that, I mean, so here's, you see, what I really work on is trying to find the unified field theory. That's a whole nother.
We'll save that for another conversation.
Yes, absolutely, right. But the thing is, we need a quantum theory that unites gravity with matter in order to understand what happens near the singularity of a black hole. It's really, you know, we don't really know if there's really a singularity or not. And quantum effects could change that. And we don't know what happens to the laws of matter when they go through the singularity and come out the other side, if that's what happens. There's some arguments that say it doesn't. So, you know, there's a lot of uncertainty to all this. We don't, you know, we're really pushing are theories beyond where they've been tested, and there's things.
Okay, so do I understand you to be saying that, on the one hand, no, there's nothing that the intelligent species could do to intentionally make the next universe more conducive to life or to the evolution of intelligent life or anything, but it could be that in the course of creating a bunch of black holes, each black hole might, through a kind of a random mutation, at least create variety, so the more black holes you produce, the more.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and so in that scenario, what the virtue of intelligent life is that it creates more black holes, and then the black holes, the baby universes that get selected out and preserved because they're good at further replication, are in fact those universes that were, through random mutation, even more conducive to the origin of life or evolution of life.
Okay, let me tell you stage 2.
But was that more or less right, what I said?
That's right. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. That's the idea.